So today we're talking about success. And who doesn't want to be successful in their life, right? Do you want success? And where do you want success in your life? Answer that question. Do you want success, and where do you want it? And what does success mean to you? These are not rhetorical questions. Really take a moment and think about it. Because success is an individual experience. It's a relative experience. Meaning my success may be very different than your success. Right? I'm here doing a podcast. Were my podcast to be radically successful, would be great. For you, you don't have a podcast, and that has nothing to do with maybe what your range of success is. Maybe your success is in a completely different domain. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing this podcast and choosing to spend your time listening to my consciousness, my stream of consciousness, the crazy stream of consciousness that it is. I'm grateful that there's a platform and opportunity for me to express myself. It brings me a lot of joy. And my hope is that it also brings you joy, that it brings you inspiration, that it brings you motivation, that it brings you transformation, that it helps you in some way upon your path. That this podcast, this episode, the other episodes, can add value to your life. That it can lift you up in some way, shape, or form. And so I invite you to listen in that way from your heart. And take that which serves you. Receive it. It's a gift. So, success. Part of what inspired this is two things. The first is that, as many of you may know, my name's Robbie, and my work is to help people create success in their life through living love, which may or may not make sense to you. That's okay. Depends on your idea of success. It depends on your idea of love. And it depends on your idea of living. So it's always good to define these things. Now, the second reason is that I was on the internet yesterday, on Facebook, and I saw a headline. And the headline said something along the lines of, "We do not need more successful people in this world. We need more healers, teachers, gardeners, farmers, and more heart-centered people," something along those lines. And it was a meme of some sort, and there was an image of like a new earth. And right away that piqued my curiosity, because I don't agree with that at all. I believe that's false. In fact, I know that it's false. Because to create a new earth, that's a major goal. That's a major achievement. And that's going to take a lot of success and successful people focused on that. Now, of course, you probably are thinking, well, that's not what the meme means. It means, successful people, those rich, horrible, politicians and all the evil people that are ruining our planet Earth, and those are the successful people that we need less of, and all that. And I hear that, and also I hear a lot of judgment in that. One of the sad things that I see in a lot of different spiritual belief systems and subconscious programs among spiritual people is that somehow money is bad and the rich are bad. And that's not the case. There's a tremendous amount of wealthy, rich individuals in this world that are beautiful, beautiful human beings. And there's those who are lost and confused, and judging them helps no one. It doesn't help you, and it certainly won't help them. If you think about Bill Gates, for example. How many people hate him and send so much negativity and judgment to this man? Is that ever going to help him break free and liberate? No, it's just going to drag him down, and more importantly, it's going to drag you down. So judgment has nothing to do with being spiritual. Yet, so often in spirituality, there can be this polarization of right and wrong, of spiritual, not spiritual. And right there creates judgment. And to me, a truly successful spiritual life is to be free from judgment, or to at least have control over judgment, and at least have awareness of judgment, and at least be consciously managing judgment. Because we're human, right? We're all going to have moments of judgment until we're at that place of like total liberation. Probably not there yet. If you were fully liberated, I doubt you would be listening to this podcast. And if I were fully liberated, I doubt I'd be doing this right now. So, therefore, there's judgment, and we need to learn to manage it and choose differently, to choose love. To me, that's success upon the spiritual path. And it also brings mental success, mental health success, because if you're sitting around judging all day, you're not going to be a happy person. Right? And therefore it brings emotional success, because if you sit around judging all day, you're probably not going to feel very good emotionally. You're going to create a whole cloud of negativity around you. And how does that feel? Right? How are you going to feel there? So what I'm conveying here is that there's many arenas of our life, many domains of our life, many aspects of ourself, and many aspects of a human being and a human life. And success is broad, and it's also focused. So we need successful people who have goals that are grounded in bettering mankind, in the success of the individual, and who are virtuous in their goals, virtuous in their desires. And those are the successful people that we need. So, all this being said, it's good to define success, because I'm speaking of this from the definition of success. So, you'll find there's always several definitions. So I did some research and found the ones that feel the most true to me and are the most applicable to this conversation. So one definition is the achievement of a desired goal, outcome, or state of being. The achievement of a desired goal, outcome, or state of being. Another is the definition to succeed, which is to do what you are trying to do to achieve the desired result. So to succeed, to do what you are trying to do to achieve the desired result. Now, how I would like to speak of it is more to be who you are trying to be rather than do. There's a lot of doing, and we need more being. We need to do from the being. If we're going to do things, we got to be it first. When you're being love, when you're living love, when you're embodying love, when you have integrity and authenticity and virtue and beauty, and then you take action, it's going to have a much better effect in the world and in your life. So to be who you're trying to be, that's another definition of success. Now, all this being said, it's relative to your goal. It's relative to the outcome that you're desiring. So if the outcome you desire is control and power over others, and you succeed in that, then, and you achieve that, then that's success on that level. That's a very dense, heavy, negative karma producing goal that you don't want success in that. It's not going to serve you or anyone else. That being said, technically, that person would have been successful. Now, if your goal is to be the best lover and friend and human being in your community, and you succeed in that, then that's success. If your goal is to be financially sovereign and free, and you achieve that, then that's success. So you see what I mean? Success is very relative. And so this is where it's good to have goals. It's good to have direction in life. And it's good to align those goals with internal states of being and external states of being, right? So, often we think of goals as a very intellectual, willful process, and to a degree it is. It can also be intuitive. It can be a process of a prayer. The prayers that align with our goals have a lot of power, right? So a goal, for example, is to, you could have a goal right now in your life to open your heart more than it's ever been opened before, to experience more love in your heart than you've ever felt before, to experience higher levels of joy and peace than you've ever felt before, right? That's a goal. Your goal could also be to bring that into your work, right? To work from love. So to whatever you do for work, to work with an open heart and to engage with your customers and clients and coworkers and boss from love. And that's a more external goal. And both are important. So what I'm saying is that goals are not always linear, and they're not always dry. They can be really fun. They can really be really beautiful. And they're important, because if you want to succeed in life, you'll need goals. And success is beautiful, right? Success is beautiful. Financial success is beautiful. It's great. Learn to love money, learn to like money, because there's nothing wrong with money. And generally, money, if you have a lot of money, it means you're bringing a lot of giving and value to the world, right? So you're providing a service. One of my teachers always says, the best way to call in more money is to continue to affirm to yourself, I offer a valuable service for valuable pay. It's an exchange, right? You buy things because you get something from them. They bring some benefit to your life, or you buy a service because it brings some benefit to your life. So if you have more money, it means you're bringing more benefit to more people. Now, when you align the benefits with something that's in alignment with love, then it creates a lot of good things in your life and in the world. So for example, you could, sell a product that is like, a pesticide, let's say, and it kills bugs and poisons people, yet it provides a benefit to the farmers that they don't get their crops destroyed, as an example. And you're benefiting the farmers, and you may make a lot of money in benefiting them, but you may kind of lie and cheat your way into making sure it benefits them, because, there's all sorts of twisted, manipulative tactics, but it's still a benefit, it's still a benefit. So that being said, it's not a good karma. So probably not good to do that kind of work. That being said, there's many beautiful things, beautiful products and services and offerings that bring richness and beauty to people's lives. So it's good to give to people. It's good to bring value to people, right? Like if you're a beautiful, open-hearted human being and you are a blue-collar worker, you go into people's homes and you help their home to be more functional or beautiful or just fix things up. It's like you don't just fix the house, you bring your presence and you bring your soul and your beauty into their home. And that's a service. So who are they going to call? They're going to call that person that brought really good vibes into their house. So it's good for business. So this is how living love can bring success, right? When you live love and you live with an open heart and you have integrity in your life and you walk with the Creator, people feel it and people will value you for that. It'll bring success. It'll bring opportunities. It'll bring success to your relationships, right? Think about when your partner, or a past partner, if you don't have one currently, think about when your partner was in the best mood ever, right? Just like the most fun, or like whatever is the best mood to you. Maybe it's really peaceful, maybe it's really calm, maybe it's really bubbly and fun and exciting, whatever. It's like, think about that. Was that not a great moment, right? Did your relationship not just get up-leveled like 1,000? So when that person's at a high vibration and that person's in love and that person's, just bringing that beauty, it brings success to your relationship. Same with you when you bring that. So you can see how our inner state of being will bring success. Now, it doesn't always translate to money success. Sometimes there's a reason. Sometimes you need, like, the people who are really financially successful aren't always the most like open-hearted, because often to make a lot of money, it takes a lot of willpower, it takes a lot of intellect, it takes a lot of just like, not bad, not wrong, just lower, denser energy, because you're really in the physical, you're really in this relative world, and you're really using your mind and your will, and like, there's not a lot of like ooey gooey, open-hearted, loving, blissful amazingness. That being said, you can still do those things from love. You can still do those things and live love, and that will increase your business, especially in the long run. It'll increase your success because you bring integrity, you bring truth. When you're living love, it's not just about, the ooey gooey love. It's like, it's integrity, it's truth, it's being authentic, it's being real, it's being driven and guided by a higher service and calling and by the Creator. So that's going to bring great things to all your life. And if something doesn't succeed and you're living love and you're living in a really beautiful, good way, and that thing doesn't succeed and it fails, then maybe that's not part of your divine plan, right? What if that thing doesn't serve you, or it doesn't serve others, or there's a bigger purpose waiting for you and it's falling apart because something else is meant to come together, right? And that's the beautiful thing when we include God in our life. That's the beautiful thing when we walk in truth, is that that which is not truth cannot sustain itself in the light of truth. When you stand in the light of truth, the lies and falsehood they got an expiration date, guaranteed. They might hold on for a year, 2 years, but they're going to expire. That includes internally your suffering, your limitations, especially when you're actively willing to face them and own them, as well as the things around you. If there's a relationship, a job, a work, a dynamic, a situation that doesn't actually serve your soul and you're standing in truth, it will not last. And it can be painful. It's hard when those things are taken from us. It's hard when those things, we lose them. And it's for our greatest good. And when you learn that, as you build that belief system and you realize when the universe takes something away, it's because something better is coming. Then you get more excited about it. You're more able to let go of it. You're like, okay, I can surrender to this because I know that better things are coming, good things are coming. There's a bigger plan. There's a bigger reason to this. I don't have to get lost in the poor me. Right? the self-pity. So this is spiritual success, and it translates to life success. Spirituality is about the way you live. That's why we want to live love. We want to live in a good way. We want to live with an open heart. We want to have compassion and joy and gratitude, right? And be at that high vibration to bring benefit and service to the world. So success, often when people are hyper-focused on external success, because we talked about external goals, internal goals. There's also external success, internal success, right? Internal success might be being free from that anxiety. External success might be making $1 million, and they may or may not be mutually, able to coexist. Maybe you're so anxious because you're working so hard, and you got to let go of that goal of $1 million to be free of the anxiety. Who knows, right? All that being said, you have internal, external goals, and you have internal success and external success. And it's good to quantify these things and break them apart a little bit. So I suggest 51% or more focus on internal success throughout your life. Internal cultivation. Focus on who you want to be and who you want to become, rather than what you want to get or what you want to do. Because getting and doing is unsatisfying in the long run. Ask anyone. They get that thing that they always wanted, and maybe you've had it too. Like, you buy a new pair of shoes and it's great. It's like, I love my new shoes. How long does that last? Right? How long does that feeling last? A day? A week? You get a mark on them, they're not new anymore. Yeah, they're just my shoes now. I still like them, but it's not that, oh my God, I got these new shoes, they're awesome. I got this new car, it's awesome. So when people want money, for example, it's usually not the money. They actually just want the feeling of safety and security, or the freedom, the freedom that money can bring. Because it does bring some freedom. You got a lot of money in the bank. It means you can go where you want, when you want. You can buy certain things. Like, there's a certain relative freedom. The freedom has an expiration date. It's not the deep inner freedom. However, it makes life easier, and it can be fun. So it's good. That being said, it's generally the internal state that someone wants more than the money. They want the internal experience, because even if you have all the money in the world, if you're sitting on a beach in Mexico and you're miserable and you're an alcoholic and you're just drinking all day, is that success? Financial success? Yeah, it is. What about the rest of your life, right? So if you really ask that person, hey, do you want to be super rich and be miserable and an alcoholic? That person's going to say, no, definitely not. It's like, well, what do you want? Well, I want to be rich, and I want to be happy, and I want to be satisfied, and I want to feel good about myself, and like all these things, right? So this is where the internal is far more important. And anyone who's traveled to a more impoverished nation often finds that the people there, because they don't have as much material things, they focus more on their well-being and state of inner state, and they're happy and bubbly and joyful and peaceful, and they're not perfect, they have their problems, however different life, simpler. So all that being said, success internally is far more important, because external success does not guarantee internal success. Internal success often results in external success. In fact, from my experience, it always does. Especially when we expand success to any goal outside of ourselves. So be successful. Find success. Create success. Decide what success is for you, and decide the biggest priority of success. Because if you're struggling financially, maybe the best success for you is to really go out and create some wealth in your life. That might do wonders for your mental health. both to have the goal and action of it and also the result. So you don't have to be stressed all the time. If your marriage is falling apart, then probably good to find some intimate success in your marriage. And that's only going to come when you love yourself. So I'm just going to ask you a couple questions again. How do you define success now? How do you define success? What is success to you? What does it mean to be successful? And you don't have to have an answer. This is about asking your soul these questions. Right? What is success to you in your life right now? And where are you succeeding in your life? What areas and domains of your life are you succeeding in? And where are you falling short in life? Where do you want to be more successful in your life? Right? Where do you want to be more successful in your life? What area of your life do you want more success in? And you probably already know this, right? We all are aware of this. It's just how honest are you going to be with yourself? As soon as you ask the question, where do you want more success in your life? You already know the answer. And you've maybe known it a long time. It's just maybe you never asked because you felt helpless or you didn't want to face the truth. It's good to ask ourselves, where do you feel like you're failing in your life? It's a harsh word, but is there anywhere in your life where you feel like you're failing? Where you're not succeeding? Be honest. It's okay. We all struggle in different ways. Now, what would it feel like? So wherever your life is not succeeding or failing, whatever you want to say, I know it's a bit of a harsh word for some. Wherever you're falling short, or wherever you're failing, whatever. What would it feel like to be successful in that area of your life? What would it feel like to succeed in that area of your life? And can you allow yourself to feel that? See if you can catch that flavor. Catch the scent of it, the scent of that success in that area. What does it feel like? What does it look like? And this is the most important question. If you had success in that area of your life, who would you be? Who would you be if you already had that success? Who would you become if you had that success? Most important question. Who would you be? How would you show up? What choices would you make? How would you treat the people around you? What opportunities would come to you? Who would you be? Take a moment to feel that, imagine that, see it. Make it part of you. Absorb it. Take a deep breath and let it go. Let it go. So that concludes our episode for today. Practice being that person now. Walk through your life as that person. And soon enough, you'll be successful, I guarantee it. So thank you so much for listening. It was really beautiful to share this with you. I'm really grateful for the opportunity. Thank you so much. And if you got any kind of nugget, if you got any kind of value whatsoever, if this episode touched you in any way, small or large, please share it. Share it with someone who can benefit from this. Give us a comment, a like, subscribe, listen to the other podcasts. Would love to hear from you. And I'm going to be starting a new group here soon to help with all of this, all these principles, living love, embodying love, finding success in the different areas of life. This particular group is for men. It's called The Aligned Man. It's a 5-month journey. It's a 5-month ceremony to practice these things, to embody love, to live with integrity, truth, authenticity, to be guided by God and a higher power. And we start April 6th, 2025. I'll leave a link down below. If you know of any man, or if you yourself are a man who can benefit from this kind of work, let's talk. And I do also work with women in other groups and also in my one-to-one work. So it's not just men. That being said, this group is a man's group. So much love to you all. May you continue to find great success in all the areas of your life. May you continue to achieve your desired goals, the outcomes that you want in your life. And may those outcomes and goals and results bring beautiful blessings and benefit and abundance to all the people in your life, those who are currently in your life, and those that you're yet to meet. There's people waiting for your gifts. Until next time.